Aaron, it is so nice to see you on my home grounds now in Winnipeg, out on the town.
Mm.
Amazing.
That's what we're doing right now. We're out on the town. We're out on pretty much every town in Canada right now.
You really are going all the way across.
Yeah. We started in Sydney on Vancouver Island, and that was our first show January 11th, and we have 36 shows in 40 days, ending February 23rd in Pictou, Nova Scotia.
Crazy.
And then what's funny is that we may have another leg of it in the fall.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we may be hitting many more towns. So
when will that be decided?
we're just kind of going through the plans now, because there's towns that got missed, like Prince George in BC, Penticton, places like that. Lots of towns in Ontario. So we figured we got to hit them all. So the fall looks like it's time to do it.
That's really good of you, because when you hear, somebody's on a cross Canada tour, you're like, okay, yeah, well, they'll skip Winnipeg, and we might see them, in Saskatchewan. Yeah. But you literally, like you said, I looked at the dates and I was like, PEI, he's got it all down. And then you're coming back in case of the ones you missed.
Yeah, you've still got to make up for the ones that, actually in PEI, I think that's just coming together again because it was canceled, but I think that'll be our 36th show for this trip. But we haven't hit Newfoundland. We didn't do much of New Brunswick. We didn't do much of Nova Scotia in this run. So we'll get that done next run for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you've been super busy since we last spoke. Yeah. Let's talk about the BC CMAs for a second. You're holding a record right now, 38 awards, is that right?
38 awards, yeah, and I was always just so excited to be nominated when I first got into it, and now it's like, wow, I've got all these awards and so many more than other artists. I never really even considered it because, I don't know, I'm just trying to make good music, and getting awarded for it is great, but it's not something that I, judge my career on, that's for sure. But it's pretty awesome. It's nice to be a part of an association, especially that I always looked up to and wanted to be a member of and win one of their awards, and here I have 38, so it's pretty cool.
And it's not even just the music you're releasing. It's obviously about your stage presence. Yeah. It's about who you are as a person, and it's you getting across to your fans. I know the last time we spoke, we talked about social media and how involved in it you are. That's only progressed.
Yeah, I mean, especially Instagram for me. Instagram was Twitter for a long time. I'm like, I really want to be a part of this Twitter thing, and when it was still fairly new, I got myself ingrained into it, and then Instagram came along. I was like, wow, this is a whole different way of connecting with your audience, and the cool thing is that I can literally just message with these people and say hi, or I can comment on a post that they made, or randomly see something of theirs that they posted that didn't involve me and make a comment, and they love that. That's what they love seeing, is that the artist is actually paying attention and it's really me. Other than all those fake Instagram accounts, that's really frustrating.
You've got a lot of people that are trying to be you.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a
why,
bad thing.
Believe me, you don't want to be me, man. No, I'm kidding. It's almost flattering to a point where it's like, okay, that's cool. My career's doing well. That these guys actually think that they could, be me and convince people that it actually is me. But then when you talk to them, like I've seen some of the the conversations these people have had, and you can tell they don't even speak English properly.
I was gonna say,
yeah, it's like, how would you think that was me?
Right?
Yeah.
I had one contact me,
Right.
and the grammar was terrible, and I was like, I've spoken to Aaron. Yeah. Pretty sure this isn't him.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't say, "Thank you for being fan. My gratitude is you are so gracious person."
You number one fan?
Yeah, just it's terrible. So, but what do you do? I mean, you can't really stop it. All I can do is report it. And like I said, I keep putting out those posts saying, it's me, this is me, the blue check mark, it's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's the actual person. So, and you have to verify, it's called verified for a reason. Mm-hmm. I actually had to send my license into, for proof, a copy of it. So yeah, it's those kinds of things that makes it really me. So just follow mine.
Right. Yeah. And in a sense, these people are really helping you out. They don't know it, but they're giving you even more exposure. Yeah,
absolutely, because people think it's funny, and everybody's saying, yeah, you got so many fake accounts out there, and it is kind of helping in a way. But I still love social media so much. It's a really great, I kind of call it I call it a business card. Mm-hmm. It's the same. It does the same job as a business card, except with personality. You want people to come out to the shows. They want to kind of feel like they sort of know you and your music, and get to see you and talk to them, if you can. And then they come out to the shows, and that's where the real experience is.
And do you ever do a live video where you finish it and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that?
Yeah, I can't restart that, and no, it's a live thing. Yeah, I mean, you've really got to watch what you say and do, especially on a live, well, in a live situation, because you say one wrong thing and man, your world can be turned upside down. So um, I, yeah, I still have fun with it though. I think that's ultimately what it is I look at it like, yeah, this is going to be fun as opposed to stressing me out or anything like that. So I just watch what I say though, for sure.
Speaking of watching what you say, it must be tough when it comes to songwriting. I know that you try to get your emotions out there, you know, you put as much input in as you can, but is there ever that part of you that feels like you need to hold back because of the way everyone's reacting to literally everything now?
Yes, that's actually a good point. When I write, I try and write from the heart, but you also have to take into account the social conscience and everything that's happening and political conscience that's happening right now. There's so many different people are on so many different sides, and you know, strongly on this side and strongly on that side, that you have to kind of walk the line in the middle to make everybody happy. So there is definitely that. I don't get very political. I keep it pretty simple. That's a good thing about country music too, is they're great stories, but they're also pretty simple stories. You know, there's no bias necessarily. So yeah, it's easier to write a story about maybe something that's happened in my life, or somebody else has told me a story that I can turn into a song, as opposed to taking that risk and, you know, saying something or singing something wrong. Yeah.
Keeping it a little more to the safe reality of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I think it's the best way to go. And not that I'm wimping out.
No.
I think I have a voice in some respect, and I try and I think just try and state the obvious. It's not so much the point of you know, saying this is my way of thinking, and you know, you're wrong for thinking the other way. I just try and state the obvious and what's fact, and you know, that I know of. So yeah, and I don't try to put that into song very often. That's for sure.
And I'm glad you don't, because then you come up with amazing songs like Top Shelf.
Yeah.
You can't help but dance to that song.
I know. I didn't write that song. I actually only wrote one song in the album, but when I heard these demos, I'm like, these songs are meant for me. Top Shelf was like, it's so different from everything else on the album. So is Ain't Stressin'. It's so different from everything else. But Top Shelf is the one that everybody keeps coming to recently and saying that song is the song that we love the most. So yeah, it's definitely got a cool little vibe to it, doesn't it? And it's got some attitude.
And it's funny because Worth a Shot, of course, you know, first time I heard it, I was like, this is great.
It's radio.
Yeah, it is. Right. And then, yeah, just listening to Top Shelf, I was like, this is also great, but it's on the top shelf. It's on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
That's awesome.
it's fantastic.
I love hearing that, because I mean, I take a risk recording these songs and not knowing exactly what everybody's going to think of them when they come out. And who knows, you know, a lot of people could be like, these songs are terrible.
We don't like those people.
No, we don't like those people at all. And there's only 6 songs on here, but like I said, each song to me sounds different from the other. Better When I Do is another radio song, but it sounds different from Worth a Shot. It sounds different from Top Shelf. And Drink Along Song is another song on the album that is probably going to be a single. And I want that to be a summer release, an anthem thing. I want it to be the next Hold My Beer for me.
And that one you co-wrote with Aaron Goodvin, right?
Nope, Aaron Goodvin wrote that with a couple of people down in Nashville. Okay. Yeah, the only one I wrote was Ain't Stressin'. That's the only one I co-wrote with Patricia Conroy and Dave Thompson.
Now, Aaron Goodvin did When a Mama's Boy Meets a Daddy's Girl.
He did.
So is that why you went back to him for this one, or it just happened that you liked the song?
No, you know what? Both songs, I got demos from a publishing company down in Nashville. And when Mama's Boy, when I found that one, I liked it, but I thought, well, it sounds like a 2004 Rascal Flatts sort of thing. Okay. And that's when my girlfriend said, you know what? That's exactly why you should record it, because people are going to relate to this song on so many levels, and you're going to make a recording that doesn't sound like 2004 Rascal Flatts. It's going to sound like 2016 Aaron Pritchett. I'm like, okay, good. I'm convinced. I convinced my producer, and we went ahead with that. And it turned out that Aaron Goodvin was a writer on it, and I had no idea at the time. I recorded the song and then looked at the writers, and I'm like, A. Goodvin, is that Aaron Goodvin? I've known Aaron since, you know, for 20 years, and from up in the Grand Prairie days. And then it turns out that all 3 writers were from Canada, and they wrote it in Nashville.
That's awesome.
And then the new one, again, I got a demo of this song. I'm like, drink along song. That's got to be something pretty fun. Listen to it. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. I could see my crowd singing along to this at shows. And then again, after a while, you get the list of who writes these songs. I'm like, Aaron Goodvin again. Well, what do you know? You know, yeah, he and I have very similar tastes.
Nice. So why only 6 songs this time?
Well, it's just an EP. We're going to start working on the next batch.
Good.
So the way the industry works right now, not that everybody needs the inside info, but the way the industry is working now, it's better to release smaller amounts of singles or songs, tracks to iTunes, and then make another batch, you know, and then just keep them pumping out. So out of these 6, I'll probably have 4 singles. Okay. 2 will be
4 top 10 singles.
4 top 10 singles for sure. Yeah. And then, fingers crossed. And then the other 2 are just album tracks. But when those 4 have run out, I'll, by then, a year and a half from now, have another 6. So we'll just keep doing 6 at a time. 6 packs.
Cool. Yeah. And then more and more shows.
Yes.
At your show this time around, I'm assuming we'll still hear some of the old stuff. And then are you still going to do some covers for us?
Yeah, we've got some fun in store. Tonight we have everything from the old stuff from 2002, 3 to the current singles. We're also doing Drink Along Song. We're adding that one in. Just we want to see what the crowd does with this, and so far it's been working crazy good. Everybody seemed to like the song, and then we also have a bit of a fun medley at the end where we get the crowd singing along to some stuff, but I can't give away any more information than that.
I don't want you to. I want to be surprised.
Okay, good.
So out on the town, you're out there, you're doing it. People can get your album not only online, but they can actually go pick a copy up in their hand.
You sure can. We have them for sale here at the shows, but you can go to Walmart. You can go to, I think Sunrise Records now they basically took over for HMV.
Thank goodness,
Yeah, no kidding. At least somebody's got them. And I think we even got, if I'm not mistaken, maybe some vinyl, which is kind of fun. Yeah. And other than that, you can stream it on Spotify and Google Music and Apple Music, and get it on iTunes, download iTunes and Google Play. So
isn't that a weird thing to say, that you can get it on vinyl and also you can get it right on your phone?
Yeah, it's kind of like this weird mix of I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the 70s meets the modern era, and both of them exist. It's really strange. Yeah,
it's like Jetsons, but like
very much like Jetsons.
The world has combined. You know where I'm going to next. It's all about your socks. What socks are you wearing today?
What sock? I'm just wearing standard socks because they're warm. They're little Pumas, and they're warm on my feet in this terribly cold weather.
Beautiful.
Should I show you the whole sock?
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Look at that blue.
Look at that. Look at the brilliant blue on that right there. Electric blue.
And the other one matches?
Yes, it does.
So, Aaron, oddly enough, I got you a pair, obviously.
My feet. You did.
Did you know that if you Google Aaron Pritchett and who his favorite superhero is, it does not come up?
No.
How do people out there not know who your favorite superhero is?
I don't really have one. My son watches so much of the Marvel cartoons, the Marvel comics, not cartoons, but the TV shows, the movies, everything. He's so into everything, and he got me really into Spider-Man, and he got me into all the Avengers, and Iron Man, Thor, and the list just goes on. And they're all such hilarious, great characters. It's hard to. I mean, the Hulk is kind of the guy that seems to be. He's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I even contacted one of your sons, and he was like, "I have no idea."
What?
I was like, "This is crazy." So I went with this one for a couple reasons.
Okay.
The Canadian connection, and then you color your own. So I was like, well, I got to go with this. So because they always mismatch, we colored a sock for you.
Oh, yes.
And then we've included the markers so that you can color the other one.
I love it. Deadpool. Yeah. That's awesome. That is so cool. I'm definitely doing that. I love Deadpool.
Good. I'm glad.
Yes, Deadpool is actually, you know what? You probably picked exactly right.
Yeah?
It is the funniest of the Marvel movies.
I thought maybe your sense of humor.
Yeah, and we have both the movies on. We've watched them many times. So that's great, and I get to color them.
There you go.
Yeah, right on. That's awesome.
Thanks so much, Aaron.
Oh yeah, here's all the pens.
You bet.
Look at that.
All different colors.
Pick and choose. Thanks, Maija.
You're very welcome. Thank you.